Hi everybody, it's Barbie at Nellie and Ruth Designs. Welcome back to my channel. I'm going to continue working in the Yo-Yo Journal, which is the collaboration between Liz over at Buttons for Brains and myself. So this is my journal here that I'm working in, and I'm almost done, and I'm going to be sending this out to Liz. So this is going to be a very simple and easy page that I'm going to be using some of my stamps. So when I say stamps, I'm talking about my acrylic stamps here. And I hope the glare isn't too bad with the lights. These are Little Fawn and Friends. These are clear stamps, and they are by Consortium Craft, or Craft Consortium. And these are really sweet. Now, I think I wanted to tie these in. Liz had created a page for me using, okay, so she used, I sent her a pack of these. So she did use these here. And so I want to show you another way that you can use these. Liz made a little collage here. And you can see she used the squirrel and she used the cute little hedgehog. And then she wrote, "In a world where you can be anything, be kind." And this is a really sweet page. And I want to carry this through because I just love nature. And I really, really, really love these cute little stamps. So back here, where I made my zippered pocket. And if you haven't seen this video, please tune in to see how this was created. I love it. So I thought here, because we have a nature page here, this is very, it's very elaborate. It's all done with slow stitching and beadwork. I wanted to put over here something that tied in, but I want to show you how just a very simple and easy page can complement some other, more elaborate page. So I just don't want people to think that, like, wow, if I put something like this in my junk journal, what am I going to put next to it? Does it have to be as fancy as this? Do I have to incorporate the beads? Do I have to use more buttons? No, you don't. So I actually used these stamps here. So what I did was I stamped them out on some watercolor paper. I chose the fawn and the bunny because that's what runs around in my yard most of the time. And I have these cute little, the flowers that came with them. So I stamped these out and I used VersaFine on watercolor paper. And then I just went and used some watercolors on these. And I just noticed on the fawn, and maybe I'll do that now because it'll give it a chance to dry. A fawn usually has white speckles. And it's one thing that I didn't do yet. Paint markers. This white. This is white. So maybe I can use this one here. And I think we need to give this fawn some white speckles. And hopefully this won't be, I need a scrap. Go to my, okay. And I think I'm just going to dot along here. And I know these colors are pretty, they're pretty muted, but okay, so there's some white. There's some white on the fawn. We'll give that a minute to dry. I'm going to place her back over here out of the light. We'll give her a little We'll give her a chance to dry right there. All right. So the other, I had this postcard and I really, really like it. And I thought it would go quite well with this page here. It really depicts nature. I have my delphinium here that I tried to. These look like a form of foxglove, okay? If you can see it here, these look like a field of foxglove. This looks like some delphinium here. So I thought I would, you know, put this over here on this page. And again, it's a postcard that I have. George Lacombe. And this was his painting. And again, you don't need to do anything elaborate. This is quick and simple. Then I have this cut out here of a tree. And I thought I would put that right here on the side. And then I'll be adding the bunny and the deer. And it's just, as long as you have your colors coordinated and you have somewhat of the same theme. So I had this all laid out right here like this, and for some reason this doesn't want to stay now. But I had my fawn. I had my fawn right here, and then I have the little rabbit over here, and then I'm going to add these little pieces here. So I got looking at my Edith Holden, and I have 3 of these books. I haven't used one of them yet. So I opened up Edith Holden thinking, well, maybe I won't use the tree, and maybe I will just do a nice leaves coming down from a tree, you know, hanging down around here. So I ran across this August page, and I think it's just perfect. It depicts the forest, you know, the woods. It has all the same colors. It has the blues. It has some of the purples. We have, this looks like a pheasant, either a pheasant or a grouse. This looks like a pheasant because it has long tail feathers. A grouse is very short and stocky. Doesn't have the same tail feathers that a pheasant does. So then I thought I would use this. So I had set this aside, and I thought, well, let's take a look to see how everything blends in over here. And everything here blends in quite nicely. And I have these are the little pieces here I'll be adding. And then my next thought, so this all goes together very well. So then my next thought, it would be very easy for me to rough rip around this, and it would fit in here quite lovely. But then I thought, well, I'd like to have a journaling page. Then I thought, well, maybe I could make a pocket. So I thought I could put my postcard here. I'd like to rip and tear around the shrubbery here. And then that would fit lovely. It would be a front view. I could have a pocket behind that, and then I could still have a pocket on the top here where I could make a tag out of the wood, because we do have the woods in here. So that's kind of the route that I'm going right now. So I think to play it safe, what I'm first going to do is I'm going to tear around the image. I'll do a rough tear. I won't use my X-Acto knife or anything. and I'll see how that looks. So, you know, as you can see, we have quite a few different options. And I just want to be careful here. I don't want to rip into those woods at all. And if I decide to make a tag out of the top portion, I would probably trim that up and not have it so jagged and rough. And I'm just using my little palette here, my all-purpose tool from Cricut. This comes in a pack. I have had people ask where I got that. You can get it at Joann Fabrics, and I think Hobby Lobby has them now. They're a little different style, but they would serve the same purpose. So there is a rough cutout, and it is a little bit bigger. However, I don't mind, because if I do have it, keep it this size, you see, it will hit that there, and I'm not too concerned. I could always add a little bit of my ribbon on this side. I do have a blue that would be quite pretty to complement that, from where Liz made her page in the book. So I could do this one of two ways. I could have this as the tag. I mean, I really like this scene. And this could be my journaling card, where I could tuck that inside there. Or, again, I could rip and tear this. And this would be the backdrop. And this would be the tag. I'm just not... I like the browns. I like the browns very much in this here. So what I could do is I could leave this open, and I could just put this in here. Use this as a tag spot, and use this to write on. I could also actually make a tag, and I could, you know, another thing you could do is you could take your X-Acto knife, cut around here, you could slide that down in as a tag, and I think maybe that is what I might do, because I want to show this a little bit as well. So if I want just these tips coming up, I could take a little bit off the bottom here, maybe just a smidgen right there. That would lower that down a little bit more into that area. So let me make a cut first. I might even, well, I still want all of that to show. I don't want to take anything away from that. So let's do this. Let's just make a, I call this my crazy cut, where I just kind of wiggle and squiggle it along here. And then if I'm going to use this as a pocket, what I'll do is I'll reinforce the back a little bit. So see that? And then I'll be able to slide that right in. And I may want, like I said, I may want to cut this down a little bit, make a shorter. Let me make this into a tag style first. All right. So let's see here. I don't know why I'm doing it this way, but maybe it's just because I did. Yeah, that's right? I always get confused. You have to flip it. Okay. Is that right? Did I do that right? Did I do it right? Yeah, I did. Looks weird though, doesn't it? Yeah, that's right. Just must be because of the way the things are blowing. Isn't that awful? Nope, that's right. Just a little bit extra there. Okay. Yeah, I think it's because the flowers are kind of wisping this way, so it just looks kind of odd to me. All right. So we have our, now see the back there? So I'm going to fix that because it's going to drive me nuts. So I think, oh, I see what I did. I came down to this one, right? No, that's right. Isn't this awful to be this particular? So my OCD. No, that's right. I think it's just the way the print is on the front. All right. Okay. So I think what I will do is I will cut a little bit off of the bottom. All right. Once we get going. So this is going to go into the page. And I don't think I'm going to distress this because I like this white or the cream on here, because I think it looks quite lovely with the cream here. So I just have to remember it's going to be a pocket, so we aren't going to glue the center. We're just going to glue, I'll glue the top part and around the sides. And I don't know who that is. Oh, it's my husband. He's going to call my cell phone next. So once I get this glued, I'm going to let this sit a minute. I'm going to take this glue off of here. And I'm going to let this dry for 1 minute. And I'm going to call him because he is on his way home from work. And he's going to want to know if he needs to pick anything up from the store. And I need to tell him no. All right. That's exactly what he was calling for. Okay, so this, I'm going to trim just a little tiny bit off of each side, just so I don't want to rip this as I keep taking it in and out to journal on or whatever. So we'll take a smidgen off of here. And a smidgen off of here. Okay. Okay, that's good. And then I don't want this to be that tall, so I'm going to take a little tiny bit off of the bottom as well. There we go. And that will be our tag. All right. So we're going to set this aside because I will put some ribbon on there. I'm not going to bother, I don't believe, with the tree here. It doesn't need anything. This has it all going on, and it's actually quite lovely. So we're going to position our little critters. All right. So this is, like I said, this is a very simple and easy, it'll be very pretty page. And again, you don't have to do anything super fancy. I have a few gals that they make cards, and they don't make journals, but you know, something like this as well. If you wanted to make a greeting card and you had an Edith Holden book or whatever, you could, you know, you could make this the front of the card. And if you have stamps, you can add stamps to the front. So you can use these in a lot of different ways. You know, same with scrapbooking. If you're a scrapbooker, you could make this into a lovely accent onto your page. And then you could put your photo. You could put your photo there. You could even put a photo in the middle. Say, like if you're a hiker, which I think would be really pretty in one of my scrapbooks. You know, you can cut this out as a square. Like if you hike in the month of August, you could leave this on there. You could keep it square, and you could put, you know, a photo of you at the summit of your hike. Or if you're in the middle of a meadow, and then you could accent the bottom of your photo with stamps. So there is a lot that you can do. And I hope I've left enough room for these sweet little pieces. Whoops. That over her little, get that to stick down there. I want to make sure that sticks. I don't want it to fall off in transport going back and forth to Scotland. This goes to Scotland one more time, and then Liz will work in it, and then when she's done with her pages, it gets sent back to me, and then I finish it and I keep it. And then where are we going to put this little one here? Maybe over here by the bunny. Maybe over by the little bunny. I want to make some some handmade cards as well using my stamps. So I think maybe in October. I don't do a lot for Halloween. Maybe I'll make some nice cards. My phone. Okay, all right. All right, so now we have a tag that we will put there. And I brought up my crinkly ribbon. And I think I'll see if I can find that's a little too lavendery. I don't want to use a fuchsia. I don't want to use a pink. I don't know if I want to use a brown. I think I need something to play off here. Maybe that lavender would work out kind of well. I don't have anything a little darker that came in the pack. I don't want to use green. I think I'll use this. And I will get out my handy dandy little toolkit here. Whoops. Something just dropped. I don't know if it was a pin, a bead. I had some beads left over. And I think I'm going to use, let's see if I have these on this side. I don't want to use that. I think I'll just blend it in. I do not want to use white. I'll use a natural. All right. And I'm just going to kind of guesstimate here where the center is. I think that's good there. We'll put that in here. I think this is the setting. This is where I get confused. And that actually worked out well for me. And I don't need to distress that or anything. I could embellish the front, but I don't know if I will. I like that scene, and I think I would just be complicating things. And I just want to find the beginning of this. And this is from Scrap Cabin Shop, and she's on Etsy. And I will put her link to this beautiful crinkly, there we go, this really pretty crinkly ribbon. I love using this and working with it. And let's see, I don't think I need that big of a piece. So we will feed this through here. And we will slide that. And I may just put something on there. What? I don't know. But I do know I'd like to put a, maybe I could put a Tim Holtz saying on here. So I'm going to bring my whole drawer over. Because I have these larger ones as well. These are Christmas. I don't need Christmas just yet. But these might be too big and bulky, and they look to be too white. Yeah, I think these would just, they're going to be too big and bulky. We don't want that. We want something that's just going to be Just a little something nice. Don't want white, so I guess we're going to have to go to the black. Let's see. Life was meant for great adventure. That might be a nice one. Live simply, give generously. If I have a longer one, I could cut it up and I wouldn't have to do a straight one across. How about this? Always be on the lookout for presents of wonder. So if I have this in here like this, I could do this in little sections. So I could say, always be on the lookout for the presents of wonder. And this, I'm just going to not move because that's down there. Always be on the lookout for the presents of wonder. There, I like that. And that will go right in there. And there, you have another page in your junk journal with a beautiful woodland scene. Very simple, very easy, very colorful, very pretty. I like how the stamps have been incorporated in with this. And then if you have a favorite postcard, you can cut it down to make a tag and you can slide it right in there like that. So that is today's video, my friends. I hope you liked it. If you did, I'd love to have you give me a thumbs up. I'd love to hear your comments. And if you have any suggestions or if you'd like to see anything, you know, something different that maybe you haven't seen out there. I know there are so many YouTubers, crafting YouTubers, and there is so much out there. But, you know, if you like my style and you want to inquire and see if I can do something for you, or you're having trouble with something and maybe I could come up with a solution, I'd love to have you contact me. So again, thank you for all your support. I really, really enjoy making these videos for you, and I hope you enjoy them as much as I do. And I'll see you in my next video. All right, everybody. Bye-bye. Oh, I'm not done yet. Don't go anywhere yet. I forgot. I wanted to add this little tiny bit of ribbon on the back of the page that Liz did to complement my little piece of paper here and tie in, remember this is the overlap, tie in that, that blue. So I'm going to start at the bottom. So this is another way that you can just enhance a page and just add a little something to it. And I think I cut it long enough, so take it right up there. So we are just going to start here. And because this is already crinkled, I really don't have to do anything to it. Just make sure it is where it is supposed to be. And I can put that right on there like that. I remember I did mention that. And I wanted you to see how that, just that little bit, again, there's no sewing. That's why I love this crinkly ribbon sew. You don't have to sew. You don't have to crinkle it yourself. It's already crinkled for you. You can just put your Fabri-Tac down and voila. So see how that just adds a nice little element there? And if you wanted to add some sequins or pearls or whatever you wanted to do, you could do that as well. I'm going to leave it just plain. I do not want to take anything away from Liz's page. I just want to tie this in where I had this hanging out over the side. All right, everybody, that is it. You got rid of me. Now I'm all finished. So I will see you later. Bye-bye.